Despondent again. We had a really terrible surface again and only covered 4 miles. It really will be a bad business if we are to have this pulling all the way through.
Biscuit, now it's fuel. It's quite unaccountable. What a miserable jumble.
Never mind. There's always the dogs.
I had your word. I had your word.
Scurvy?
Let's say he's a very sick man.
Where's the 4th, Hatch?
Evans came back a 3-man party. 5 went on.
What? My God.
Cherry, did you ever take that navigation course we talked about in the winter?
I'm afraid not, Hatch. The owner said I'd be wasting my time.
I can navigate and drive, Dog Hatch. You're giving the orders. But until Uncle Bill gets back, I'm IC science and running a dozen different experiments practically single-handed. End of the day, who knows? Science may be the only thing we have to take back with us.
It's touch and go, though, Teddy, there. My duty as a surgeon is clear. It means one of you two is going to have to do the dog run with Dimitri.
Bad orders. No good.
In spite of strong wind and full sail, we have only done 5.5 miles. We're in a very queer street, since there is no doubt we cannot do the extra marches and feel the cold horribly. Amongst ourselves, we are unendingly cheerful. But what each man feels in his heart, I can only guess. Providence to our aid. We can expect little from man now, except the possibility of extra food at the next depot. A poor one.
Get to One Ton Depot as fast as possible and leave the food there. But if Scott isn't there, judge for myself what to do. Is that it? Well, it's all very confusing.
Yes, I'm sorry it's a jumble, old chap. The orders the captain sent back with the returning parties do tend to contradict each other. But don't forget, Scott says he's in no way dependent on the dogs for his return. The main thing is not to risk the dogs for next season. All 3 sets of instructions stress that. You'll be all right. Dimitri will look after you.
I just wish I knew how to drive dog.
March 9th, Mount Hooper Depot. Cold comfort. Shortage on our allowance all round. I don't know that anyone is to blame, but generosity and thoughtfulness have not been abundant.
Veal and ham pie.
The dogs, which would have been our salvation, have evidently failed. Mia's had a bad trip home, I suppose. It's a miserable jumble.
Fried bacon. Crosley bits.
Titus Oates is very near the end, one feels. What he or we will do, God only knows.
Watercress soup.
How does it look, Birdie?
Well, it's getting pretty tight, sir. At our present rate of travel, we will still be 13 miles short of 1 ton when the food runs out. Even then, we'll need the weather on our side.
I haven't seen you doing much scribbling lately, Bill.
Used up all my pages.
Bill? Do you happen to know if the opium tabloids are in the sledge box or in the bag?
I have them. Why do you ask?
I think it might be a good idea to divide them up for our private use. In the event that matters grow hopeless for one of us. Or all of us. Each should have the means of expedition to hand to use. Or not use, as he sees fit.
I'm afraid I could only do that under protest, Con.
Protest noted, Bill.
If 1 Ton Depot had been laid where we'd intended, at 80 degrees south, we'd all but be there already, wouldn't we, Birdie? Seems a high price to pay for a pair of ponies who were down to die anyway.
Mulligatawny.
The fact is, I don't know what to do for the best. I believe it may be Cleary. It's 60 miles from here to the depot at Mount Hooper. 190 from there to base. If we go on, we run the risk of simply missing them on the march, and then they'll arrive here and find the depot unreplenished. In any case, we only have surplus food rations for 2 days. It's not enough to get us there and back again. On the other hand, in the remote possibility they're already experiencing some difficulty.
Go Mount Hooper, mister. Easy. Dimitri know-how.
Tell me.
Dog eat dog, mister.
Ready to go? 1 minute, mister! To home? Yes, mister?
Yes, I suppose so. Come on!
We none of us expected these terribly low temperatures. We hope against hope that the dogs have been. Then we might pull through.
This foot's no good. Help me, please.
Not much we can do, old chap.
Leave me tomorrow in my bag. Please?
I can't do that, Titus.
Give me the gun.
There is no gun. Give you something for the pain. Lie down, soldier. There's a good fellow. Please, God, you don't have another day like this one, soldier. Or any of us.
Oh, no.
must be near the end. But a pretty merciful end. No idea there could be temperatures like this at this time of year, with such winds.
Morning, old chap.
Just in time for breakfast, Larry.
What date is it today? I think it's my birthday.
Soldier. Soldier. Please don't. No. No.
Call of nature, Bertie.
We knew that poor Oates was walking to his death. But though we tried to dissuade him, we knew that it was the act of a brave man and an English gentleman. We all hope to meet the end with a similar spirit, and assuredly the end is not far. My right foot has gone, nearly all the toes. 2 days ago, I was proud possessor of best feet. Foot went, and I didn't know it. Amputation is all I can hope for now. But will the trouble spread? Got within 11 miles of 1 Ton Depot Monday night. Had to lay up all yesterday in severe blizzard. Today, forlorn hope. Wilson and Bowers going to depot for food.
Uncle Bill, you awake? Take a look, son.
It's just a lull, Bertie. Don't you think, Bill? Our effects are lost. Everything's lost, wouldn't you say? Letters to loved ones, journals, samples. In the tent, they may still be found. Survive to tell the tale.
How ironic. I do believe there's a layer of coal here. I thought this was what I wanted. It isn't. It isn't.
My dear Mrs. Wilson, if this letter reaches you, Bill and I will have gone out together. We're very near it now, and I should like you to know how splendid he was at the end. His eyes have a comfortable blue look of hope, and his mind is peaceful. My dear Mrs. Bowers, I'm afraid this will reach you after one of the heaviest blows of your life. He'd come to be my dear Barry. No fuel and a long way from food. My dear Sir Edgar, if this diary is found, it will show, my dear Sir Francis. I want to tell you that I was not too old for this job, after all. My dear Sir George, the real thing that has stopped us is the awful weather, my dear Kinsey. I feel that the country need not be ashamed. My dear Sir Lewis, our journey has been the biggest. It's a pity the luck doesn't come. My dear mother, indeed it has been most singularly unfortunate. For the risks I have taken, my dear Kathleen. What lots and lots I could tell you of this journey. What tales you would have for the boy. But what a price to pay.
Message to the public.
The causes of the disaster are
Not due to faulty organization,
but to misfortune and all risks which had to be
undertaken.
God save the king.
Hatch, you sure about tomorrow?
I'm not sure about anything, Silas. But on balance, I think I'm doing the right thing.
We could search for Scott and the others till Christmas and find, at best, only their remains. I don't want you taking the blame, Hatch.
I think that's unlikely, Silas. I think we have to find them, come what may. The world will want to know what happened.
Press your eyes. As you can see, it's very big. And, well, I don't think you can see it so big from this picture, but a man, for instance, would be that size in this landscape. Next, please. This is a bit of the Trans-Antarctic Mountains, where we had some difficulties with the sledges, and it was very cold. Next, please. Well, this is the South Pole. Why? Thank you very much.
gentlemen, we have somewhat overrun our allotted time, and I'm informed that dinner will soon be upon us in Great Hall. So I propose to defer questions until we are all suitably postprandial. More later, of course, but as President, it falls to me now to offer a brief word of thanks to Captain Amundsen for his simple and uncomplicated account of what we must all now assume to have been a simple and uncomplicated journey. Pole seeking has its own undeniable attractions, of course, but I feel bound to say we here now look forward the more keenly to the day when our own Captain Scott steps up to this rostrum and delivers his account, replete as we know it will be with scientific knowledge for which the whole civilized world hungers. Captain Amundsen has graciously consented to autograph copies of his recently published book, The South Pole, the writing of which presumably deflected him from pursuing his widely proclaimed intention to undertake a 3-year drift across the Arctic basin. But in concluding this short word of thanks, and having heard what Captain Amundsen has to say, I cannot as an Englishman help feeling that if our first toast to dinner is to be Captain Amundsen and his merry men, our second should be 3 cheers for the dogs.
Captain Amundsen?
Leon, I want you to book me a passage home.
I'll speak to Kirsten.
No, just do it. I will not be the guest of those ignorant people.
All right, Betty, I have it.
Might we talk, Captain?
Yes.
Well, Captain, there is a rumor that you are to continue your current tour of the civilized world with a trip to New York.
Doctor, rumors are...
Hear me out, will you? Please. Before you go, there are things you must understand. I'll be very clear. Neither the nation nor the government, nor I, will forgive you if you persist in this pointed refusal to complete the work in the North you undertook to do. Your attempts to justify do you no credit at all. I will not argue whether your crew were offered this or this much for their services. The government's failure to meet your demands on pay cannot possibly excuse your flagrant abandoning of a clear duty. And this, in turn, to be frank, Captain, leads me to suppose, or at the least to ask, whether it would not be more honest to come right out with it and say that you lost your stomach for the North and have an end to it.
I think one day you might regret having that thought.
Perhaps, but it will not be tomorrow. You took my ship, Captain. Perhaps you took my pole. And more, even. Even so, I applauded your achievement. I defended you when you were called a rogue, a liar, a cheat. This is how I'm repaid. At any rate, I should like to tell the king when I meet him this afternoon that you are ready to announce a firm date for the resumption of your expedition.
Tell His Majesty, in case he has not heard, that I'm headed for a fund-raising tour of America to pay the debts incurred on the southern leg and equip a new boat for the north. I have no idea when I'll be in a position to announce my departure.
Very well. I cannot say that I'm not disappointed. I had expected more from you.
How strange. I'd hoped for more from you too. I had hoped for friendship, Dr. Amundsen.
I'm not so sure that could ever have really been on the cards, Captain. Once the neck has felt the breath, I will bid you good day, but not goodbye. This matter will not be allowed to rest.
Gentlemen, I want you to see this. Bill?
So this is scurvy. Ugh. Silas, forgive me, but I must ask you to refrain from repeating your unofficial, lay, and rather peremptory diagnosis of our dead colleague's condition. The last thing any of us wants is to have doubts cast on the conduct and organization of this expedition.
Anything you say, Hatch.
express wish of the captain, I am asked to read the following address to you. It is headed, Message to the Public. The causes of the disaster are not due to faulty organization, but to misfortune in all risks which had to be undertaken. 1. The loss of pony transport in March 1911 obliged me to start later than I had intended, and obliged the limits of stuff transported to be narrowed. 2. The weather throughout the outward journey, and especially the long gale in 83 degrees, stopped us. 3. The soft snow in the lower reaches of the Beardmore Glacier again reduced pace. We fought these untoward events with a will, and conquered, but it cut into our provision reserves. Every detail of our food supplies, clothing, and depots made on the interior ice sheet, and over that long stretch of 700 miles to the pole and back, worked out to perfection. But all the facts above enumerated
were as nothing to the surprise which awaited us on the barrier, and our wreck is certainly due to this sudden advent of severe weather, which does not seem to have any satisfactory cause. I do not think human beings ever came through such a month as we have come through. For my own sake, I do not regret this journey, which has shown that Englishmen can endure hardships, help one another, and meet death with as great a fortitude as ever in the past. Had we lived, I should have had a tale to tell of the hardihood, endurance, and courage of my companions, which would have stirred the heart of every Englishman. These rough notes and our dead bodies must tell the tale. But surely a great rich country like ours will see that those who are dependent on us are properly provided for.
American geographical, the French geographical, the German, Italian, receipts from the book, royalties, well, that's nothing to shout about, and letters from Wisting, Hansen, and Lindström. They'll go with you as and when you have only to say. And a cable from Viola.
What does he say?
Just a minute. North, not for me, but congratulations on your triumphal progress around the world.
Triumphant progress around the world. Take it.
Hello? Oh, hello. No, he's taking a bath. Oh. I see. Yeah, I'll tell him. Goodbye.
Who was it?
Amundsen.
Will he never give me peace? I'll go north when there is money for the journey and when the Norwegian government agreed to honor their pledges. I know it's a point of honor to complete the journey. Why cannot he understand? I cannot move on the matter.
Scott is dead. The whole party, 5 of them, perished on the barrier coming back from the pole. Starved to death in their tent. I don't know. The ship just broke the news from New Zealand. So, Nansen wants to discuss a statement. He's anxious you shouldn't say anything undiplomatic.
True, you mean? What's there to say? It's quite a coup. He wins at the last. He wins. Have we done with the mail?
More or less. A note from Shackleton, one from Peary, another from Cook.
Ah, good old Fred.
Looking forward to meeting you in New York in the fall.
Dear old Fred. 30 years in the ice and never lost a single comrade's life, and the world's already forgotten him. Never learned the British habit of dying, the glory of self-sacrifice, the blessing of failure. That's where he went wrong. Horrible.
It was a sad homecoming for them after their hard time. I can only here say that I can never be sufficiently grateful to all the members of the expedition who were with me during this bad season for their entire loyalty and good fellowship. Never one moment's trouble, and always cheerful and willing.
Splendid.
First class.
I agree.
Sir Clements, anything?
Very minor stuff, really. Oh, yes. Your reference to the cause of death. Want and exposure, I believe you said.
Yes, sir.
I do not seek to pry, Dr. Atkinson, but may I ask whether you've yet submitted your medical report for the Admiralty?
I put it in last week, sir.
Dr. Atkinson, may one assume a similar factual and unsensational diagnosis there as here?
There is only one diagnosis, sir. And you have heard it.
Thank you.
We're most grateful for your work and your support, Doctor. My husband's book will be the better for your contribution. I think we must move at once on to the main text, gentlemen. Sir Reginald knows my general feelings, so I'll see Dr. Atkinson to the door.
Goodbye, sir. Charming man.
The man's a fool. Can't tell his ass from a pineapple. Damn lucky he's not facing a court-martial. Doesn't mean he won't go far. He's a damn clever report writer. Excuse me, gentlemen, I must go to the laboratory.
Admiral Beaumont, this way.
By the way, we want no truck with public inquiries as to causes and so on. Never know where that will lead.
Seems to be general agreement that the best course by far is to publish the book as quickly as possible and let it speak for itself.
Yes.
I suspect that we've all found it to be something of a masterpiece. Reggie?
I've taken the liberty in consultation with Mrs. Scott of compiling a list of minor trims and excisions for your approval. I think you have them before you, gentlemen. The criteria are in the main two: lacking interest for the general reader or causing hurt to fellow members of the expedition. Page 3. The reference is to Petty Officer Evans being drunk and disgracing the ship, etc. Of no interest and damaging. Then take out line 16, et sequitur. We ought to have kept the bearings of our outward camps. That is where we have failed.
You here to see Cook? This way. When the bell goes, that's dinner. You'll have to go.
Hello, Fred.
Hello, Rold.
I expected you at my lecture.
Yes. I couldn't get away.
Thought I'd look you up.
It's a bad idea.
Want to tell me about it?
Went into business. Stocks and bonds. It seemed like a good idea. Formed a partnership with a couple of fellas. They cleared out one day, took all the money, left me holding the bag. I'm charged with fraud. Bail set at $20,000, not a person in the whole wide world to post it. I don't suppose you'd have that kind of money. No, I don't think so. You're an honest man. Yeah. So, you took the South Pole. That's quite a coup. How was it?
Cold.
I know. You were supposed to go north again. What happened?
No cash. I've been stalking the globe, lecturing, just to pay off my debts. All the money is marching to war just now, so... Brought you a book. Guard says I could leave it at the office. Read it anyway. It will help you to pass the time.
I'd rather count bugs.
Well, I leave it anyway.
You must be proud. You've earned it.
One each.
You believe that?
If you say so, friend.
Time's up, buddy.
Well, I see what I can do about all this.
Thanks. Rold. Don't brood. Scott killed himself. That's what the British do best. Let him have the glory. You keep the pole.
You really the guy who got to the South Pole?
That's right.
Swede, aren't you?
Norwegian.
Norwegian, right. I heard about that a couple of years ago, maybe. Did you always wear a derby?
No.
Amundsen, something like that.
Amundsen.
Amundsen, that's right. Ate the dogs.
You have it.
God damn. Who was that guy committed suicide there? Johnson or...
Oates?
No, I know about Oates. One of you guys. Johnson. I read about it in the paper last week sometime. Went to a hotel. Europe someplace. Put a gun in his mouth, blew his head all around the room. Johansson. That was it. You knew him?
I knew him.
Geez, Bud, you know some funny people.
For my own sake, I do not regret this journey, which has shown that Englishmen can endure hardships, help one another, and meet death with as greater fortitude as ever in the past.
I have no grand emotions, no profound thoughts to share with you. I have to confess it. I experienced the excitement, of course, but above all, what I feel is, it's not large or deep at all. It's just how good it is to be alive.